Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another amazing video. And as you can see on the screen, in this video we are going to make a Flutter bot for Twitter. So the idea is that I'll tell you how you can create your own bots, and you can deploy them on, or like how you can talk with the Twitter API, and how these bots can help you in tweeting for you and retweeting for you or liking something for you. So this is the idea, and as you can see, this is the bot which I created, Flutter bot. And here you can read as well, I am a bot, I was created by imthepk. Let's run together, and it has already retweeted a couple of tweets. And this was actually done for testing Flutter is love, if you'll visit my account. So yeah, that's the idea. And we will be doing things in Node.js. We will be writing some scripts so that it can talk to the Twitter API, and it can do this work for us. So this is Flutterbot. And another thing is that when you create a bot, you have to follow some rules and some guidelines. So there is some policy and terms by Twitter. So they don't want to restrict people. Like, there are many people who use bots for spamming, but there are other people as well who actually do it for good things. So they don't want to stop good people, but they want to stop the bad people. So for that, they follow certain rules, and they ask you to submit the information, like when and how you are gonna use it, and what is the purpose. So all those informations are needed. So like, before we start, the first and the foremost thing is that you have to create one Twitter account for your bot. So I have created this account, which you can see, Flutter bot, and @bot_flutter. So this is my account which I created today itself. And you can create one account by yourself, and you can name it anything, but make sure you mention that this is a bot, so that you can show your trust for this particular bot. Just don't try to make a human account and then make it work like a bot. So yeah, please make sure that. Now once you created your account, then you have to go to developer.twitter.com. Here you will see the dashboard. So most of the things have some limitations. Let's say if you want to search the tweets in last 30 days, then there is a there's some quota which is for free, otherwise you have to pay. And then you can see, you are tweeting like 0 out of 25k per month limit. So yeah, there are some limitations for sure, but we are not concerned about it that as of now. And then you have to create an application. So once you will go here, then you can see apps, and before submitting this application, you have to actually start with writing a form, where you will generally say and submit it for review. Like, you will say that what your if it is actually a bot, or if it is something else, like why you are actually using the API for bot, for some kind of maybe analysis or something. So once you specify that, then you can submit it for review. And once it is reviewed by the Twitter team, then they can do the they can make it successful, or they can reject your application. And then you will create an application here, which this application is basically, once you are done with that process, then you can create another app. Let's say this time my app is Flutter bot, and let's see how we can create it. So this is how it looks like. You will give your app name, then you will give application description, like what is the purpose of this application. Then you will specify your website URL. So for me it was mtechviral.com, let's say. And then you can skip this enable sign in. If you will enable it, then you have to give the callback URL, which will be must. So let me just check here, and you can see this field becomes required. And then terms of service policy, privacy policy, and organization name, and all that. And then this is the crucial thing, that tell us how this app will be used. So they will definitely ask you that how you are going to use these APIs. If you are going to do some spamming or something, then they're gonna reject your application. So yes, this is more or less the idea. Once you do that, then you will get application like this. This is the Flutter app application. If you can see, this is the app icon and all these things. There are permissions, or what kind of permission have been given to this particular application, read and write. And then there are some keys and tokens. There are 4 kind of keys. I'm not gonna show you, but I can just definitely tell you. The four kind of keys is one is consumer API key, second is secret key, third is actually your you can say access token, and the last one is access token secret. So four keys you will get when you will create your application. Now moving to the coding part. So basically this is just a normal application which I have shown you in many videos. So this is like a blank folder. As of now there is only one file, that is .environment, so .env, and for that file actually I cannot show you because it has all the keys. So in my previous video as well, in when I taught you about Node.js, Express, MongoDB, I created this file, so you can check it out. And now what I want to install few things. So first of all we will have package.json. For that I will write npm init --yes, so that it can create a package.json for me. And by default what I get is bot tutorial name, version 1.0.0, and some other stuff. Then once you are done with that, then what you have to do is you have to install three things. One would be npm install express. We want express to set up our server. Second thing which we want is twit. So twit is npm package which we will use to interact with the Twitter APIs. And third is we want .env, which is to access this .environment file. And once we install these three packages, we should be good to go. And yes, this is what we need, and we are almost done. Now I'll create one more file here and I'll say app.js. This app.js is gonna be our main file where we will have all the logic. So first of all I want to access express, so I'll say const express and I'll say require express. Okay, so this is something which you will do initially. Then I also want to access twit, so twit and require twit. Okay, so this is looking good. And now I also want to access the .environment file, so I can say .env/config, so all the configurations I'll get with this. Now I want to create my bot, so I can say Flutter bot, and I will use twit to actually access this bot. And guys, the part here which is important is that this twit needs your consumer key and consumer secret and all those things. So first of all we will give the consumer key. So consumer key you can get like once you have this .environment files and you import this .environment, then you can use process .environment and you can give the name of the key. So for me the name of the key is Twitter API key. Okay, so this is actually the name of the key for me. Second thing is it needs its consumer secret, and we will do the same thing here as well. We will say process .environment consumer secret. So so consumer secret is basically API secret for me. So I can say, so these are the names which I have given, right? Twitter API key, Twitter API secret. You can definitely change them, so it's totally your choice. Third thing which it needs is access token, and same thing I'll repeat. This time I can say Twitter access token. Okay, there's one more key which you need, and that is access secret. So access token secret, and the name which I am using is Twitter access secret. Okay, secret. Yeah, this is looking good. There is one more thing which you want to specify, like timeout in milliseconds. So generally we can like do something like this: multiply 60 with 1000, it will be 60,000 milliseconds. So that is the time out time. So yeah, this is how we will instantiate our Flutter bot. And now we are almost ready, guys. We are like good to go. Now we can use this Flutter bot to post something. So if I will show you my account as of now, So if I refresh it, so the last tweet which you can see is it retweeted something like Flutter beginner course or something, and apart from that it has done nothing. So let's try to tweet something on the behalf of this bot. So I can say Flutter bot dot post. So we can use dot post to actually post something. Okay, so first of all we have to give the path. So when you are using Twitter API, then you have to specify apart from the API URL that where exactly what is the route which it gonna target. So we are going to target statuses slash update. So this is the route which we can use to actually post anything, or whatever you want to specify here, you can do that. And then you have to pass some parameters. So the parameter which you want is status. So we want to post a status, and that status, what is going to be there inside the status is we have successfully created a Flutter bot tutorial. And yeah, this is very easy, guys. This is really easy. And now we have also the status, and we should end it like this. No, oh, we have already done it. So yeah, this is something which you need. And then it will also give you a callback where you can have something like error, data, and response. These are the three things which we will get with the callback. So now here we can like console.log something, let's say successful. So I'm assuming that it's successful. So yes, so we are done with the posting of any kind of status. And now we have to run our server. For that we will say app.listen. Okay, so we haven't used app, so here we also need app. So we can say app and is equal to express. Okay, so this is this will give us access to app, and then we can call the method listen. We can specify the port. So let's say it's 3000, and I can just say request response, and then I can log something, let's say console.log listening to 3000, something like this. And now we will run our server to see if everything is working or not. So here I can say clear, and now I will say node app.js. So you can see listening to 3000, and it is also saying successful, which means this tweet has been there. So now if I go here, if I will refresh this, we should see the tweet. Yes, so you can see 10 seconds ago we have successfully created a Flutter bot tutorial. So our this particular API is working. Like we can now post tweet using this this particular script. And let's say if I end the server, if I try to do it again, it will tweet it one more time. And now if I refresh it, there are tweet, or like there should be another one. And yes, because it's the same tweet, it will take like at least 60 seconds. Like if you cannot post it before that. So yeah, that's why you can only see one tweet. And why it's showing successful, because in any case we are actually showing it successful. So if I say if error don't show this, let's say in case of error we want to show the error itself. Okay, and otherwise we will show if it was successful. Okay, now let's try again, and this time you can see status is a duplicate, so that's why it is rejecting it. And also you cannot like quickly you cannot like spam Twitter. So that's also one of the things. So status is a duplicate. If I try to change it, let's say tutorial 2 if I say, and now if I will run the server again, successful. This time it is actually successful. So if you can see, we have now 2 tweets. I can delete this one though, we don't need it. So yeah, this is how. So there are many like this is one way of doing it. There are many ways you can you know like rather than just posting, you can like some tweet, you can follow someone. Once someone follow you, you can do something. So yeah, there are a lot of options which you can explore. So let's say if I want to access some tweets, how I can do that, I can show you that. So I can say Flutter bot dot, and let's just let's just comment it out, and I can just say, let's say dot get. Okay, so I want to get some tweets, so I can say search slash tweets. So I can search for some tweets based on some query strings and all that. So here you will specify the parameters. So the parameters can be, guys, the same thing. So first parameter can be q. So q means query. So what kind of query you want? Let's say I want to search the tweets with hashtag Flutter. Okay, so this will give me some tweets. And then I want to get some result type. So result type you can specify, let's say what kind of result you want, from the recent category or from the popular category. So I can say, let's say recent. So recent, mixed, popular, these are the options which it gives you. And then you have let's say I can also access language, what kind of language tweets you want. So I can say English, let's say en. Then we can also specify some filter. Let's say if I want to just access the safe tweets, okay, so we can do that. And then how many, like the count which you want. So let's say I want some 10 tweets or something like that. Okay, so this is what you can do. And then at the same time you can give the same let's say this thing, which is our callback. So I can just copy from here, and then after comma I can use it. And once you have this data, then you can actually print this data and you can see what you are getting. So we can say console.log. Actually you will get this data, and inside this data, guys, there are a lot of things which you can do. So what I can do now, this time I'll run my server and I'll add my breakpoint here so that I can see what's happening. So if I press F5, so you can definitely, it's stopped for some reason. Okay, it's saying some problem is appeared. Invalid shorthand property initializer, lang is equal to, okay, so it should be colon, not equal to. So that was the problem. If I press F5 again, you can see debugger was attached, but we got any issue here? Yes. So we have to stop our server first because we are trying to run on the same server again. These are some of the stupid mistakes which I could do. Yes, we got some data, guys. Let's see what data we got. So inside data you can see the length is 10 because the count is 10. We want 10 entries, and these might be some of the tweets which people are doing. Let me just show you. So on object 0 you can see contributors coordinates created at this time, and the tweet text is retweet code magic IO Flutter developers. And then on 1 you can see we have Devengers London Flutter tips. So we have all the like access to all these tweets. There are other informations which we can add, like ID string if you want, the language, place, retweet count, how many like retweets has been done. So yeah, these are the things. So we are getting the data, and inside data we are getting the statuses. So we will use any of the status and we will try to retweet it. So this is being done. So now I'll just remove this console and let's try to retweet something based on those results. Okay, so what I can do, guys, maybe, okay, let's do this thing. I'll use my bot here, and so flutter bot dot post, the same thing which we will do, but this time to retweet something we will access statuses slash retweet. Okay, last time it was update, but this time it is retweet. And once you want to retweet something, you have to give the ID. So we will give some parameters, obviously, first of all, and the most important one is the id. And then there are some other specific things you want to specify, like some filters if you want to do. So id would be, we will access data dot statuses, okay, statuses, and let's say we want to access the 0th one, and then we will try to access the id. We can use id underscore str, the id string, so that can be important for us. So once we do that, this is good, and then we can again have the same this thing callback, and inside this callback I can just say retweeted, let's say something like this. Let's make let's try to run our server again from the console this time, clear it, and now let's see, listening to 3000 and retweeted. Let's see if it has retweeted anything, and let's refresh it, and you can see it has retweeted this one. This is the last tweet, or this is this, like on index 0, this was the tweet which it could retweet. Let's end our server and let's try to run it again, and this time it again retweeted something. Let's refresh it, and this time, because it is the same tweet, so it is not gonna retweet it, it will give you some error, but we are not printing any error. So let's try to change it from 0 to, let's say, 2, and because we are already fetching 10 items. Now if I'll just run it, it will again say retweeted, and now if I'll refresh it, so you can see, oh, it hasn't retweeted anything yet. Why? Okay, there might be something which we are doing wrong here. Okay, let's do one thing. Once we are saying we want to retweet it, so let's try to access the text as well of this particular thing. So what we can do to access the text is, rather than id string, I can show here, let's say console dot log this and dot text, so that we should know what tweet it is actually retweeting. So you can see this is the same tweet which it is trying to actually retweet. Let's change the status to something like let's try to access some other value, let's say 5, and then also let's see if it is giving us some, like, why it is happening, because there can be multiple retweets of the same tweet, so that's why it is showing the same tweet on every location. So now if I just try this is different. So you can see, ever want to do this, well, now you can call media query extension, and now if I'll go back, if I'll refresh it, this is a different tweet, and yes, you can see Flutter tips, media query, and this is what it retweeted. So there is one way of doing it. Then you have streams which you can use. You can like call different APIs, you can share your tips and all those things using this script. So yeah, this is more or less the idea how you can create your bots, Twitter bots, and this was the Flutter bot which we created. I'll do some changes here, and I'll run the server again. Whenever I will be working, this server will be on. I'm not going to deploy it right now, but maybe in future you can deploy it to some place, maybe AWS, Heroku, and it will do all the things by itself. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you're not the subscriber already. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, take care, and make sure you actually retweet my tweets. Thank you so much. Bye bye, take care.